Pups, it's Gemini Wolf Gamer, and I'm here with a completely different kind of video today. I'm doing a tutorial video. Woohoo! Now, my tutorial video, I showed this in my vlog, so if you guys watch my vlog, you've already seen this. I'm making candles. This is not wax, and I will show you what that is in just a minute when I get into the tutorial. So let's waste no time and get right into it. You'll have to excuse the shitty lighting and shitty camera angle, guys. I'm recording on my phone and I don't have a tripod yet. So, what you're going to need to make this candle, all vegetable shortening. Now you have to be sure it is all vegetable shortening. You don't want lard or any of that gross stuff. A spoon. Microwave. This is the way I do it. You can use a double boiler method, but I prefer the microwave. A jar, which I just cleaned out this old True Living candle jar that my mom had laying around. And I am saving the wax. The wax is over here cooling in a bowl. You'll need something to add color, which oh god, sorry guys. Again, sorry about the angles and stuff. I'm going to do my best. Something to add color. Oh gosh. Which I just have some old Crayola crayons. And something to add scent. Now I do have candle scent, which you can use if you would like. I also bought these wax cubes at the store today that are already colored. Now, the wax cubes add both scent and color. However, if you want to use them and you want your candle to be, you know, very highly pigmented, I would recommend using a crayon alongside it. Simply because if you just use the wax cubes, your candle is going to be more translucent in the color. Like this is the Tahitian Sunset cubes, which are kind of a reddish orange. And then I added a small chunk of red crayon and it turned out this pink color, which is fine. I like that actually. But the scent I'm going to be using this time is vanilla. The cubes are white. So I need to pick out my color. Let's do tan. A tan vanilla candle. Why not? So, to get started, what you're going to do, you're going to take your jar. Like I said, I'm trying to angle this the best I can, guys. I apologize. So, you take your jar, and you take your shortening. And obviously, the shortening is going to melt down when you put it in the microwave. So you'll probably have to add more to it along the way. Where did my stick go? There it is. So what you want to do is take your shortening and just start scooping it into your jar. Like so. Now this little jar probably won't take near as much shortening as my can jar that I showed you guys a minute ago took. Obviously, because it's a much smaller jar. But the can jar, glass, whatever the heck it is, took probably a third of this container of shortening. So if you do a bigger candle, you're going to use more, obviously. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Actually, since the jar is so small, I'm going to put it in for about a minute. Let that melt. Oh, and I'm sorry, my microwave is really noisy. And I'm just going to use, you'll also need something for wick, which I have candle wick here. But I'm just going to reuse the wick out of the candle that I'm repurposing the jar from. So while that's in the microwave, we're going to strip our crayon down here. need a lot of crayon either. It doesn't take much at all to color this, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the whole wrapper off, if it'll come off. So, you know, just kind of do the best you can getting your wrappers off. It's easier if you slice the wrapper down the middle with like a knife, but I don't have a knife readily available right now. All of our knives are dirty, and it's just easier to do it this way. So that's how I'm doing it. There we go. Got our naked crayon, and our jar is now done in the microwave, which you can see you're going to need, or we're going to need quite a bit more of the shortening. So we're just going to keep adding it in until we have the amount we want. And a big tub of this shortening, this Great Value brand, for, how much is in here? 48 ounces, which is 3 pounds, cost me like $3. And, you know, obviously if you do smaller candles like this one, you'll get quite a few out of one jar of the shortening. And you can use whatever brand you'd like. Crisco, you know, whatever. Just be sure that it's all vegetable. You don't want animal products, because that would just stink terribly. So yeah, you want to do this. Oh God. I'm going to stick this back in the microwave for another minute to a minute and a half. Let that melt. And while I do that, I'm going to snap off a piece of this crayon. I'm just going to use like this much, because like I said, it doesn't take much to color it. And I'm also going to break off and cut in half if it'll come out of the container, anyway, a cube of this vanilla scent wax. Now for this, I am going to use this dirty knife just because it's already dirty and it's kind of hot, so I'm just going to cut it into 4 pieces. Because again, since I'm adding crayon to color this candle, I don't want to make it overpowering scent-wise. Like, I want the scent to be strong, but I don't want it to, you know, when you light it, anybody within the vicinity is like, oh my God, that's too strong. Because I've had that happen. Alright. So, that's the perfect amount of shortening. I'm going to grab my little stir stick. This is just the s'more stick that I broke into pieces to use to stir this, because I made a somewhat, whoops, and try not to do that. I just spilled shortening, liquid shortening all over my counter. Because I made a somewhat tall candle the other night, and it didn't really work because I used just cotton yarn instead of wick. So now we're going to add our scent and our color, and we're just going to stir that until it melts together. Now you can do this in the microwave. You could put it back in the microwave to help melt this if you want. I don't, just because it's just as easy to do it this way because the shortening is still hot. I need to hold this jar still so I don't fling shortening everywhere. But you just want to stir until it's all mixed together. That's why I'm using this long stick, as it's wood. And it's, you know, an old s'more stick, so I don't have to worry about ruining it. I'm going to add one more little piece of scent because I like my candles to have a stronger smell. If you don't like yours to have a really strong smell, 1 little quarter of a piece of that will be plenty, especially in a small candle like this. So you just stir until that's completely melted in, which I don't know if you guys can see because of the color of the owl as I burn myself. Because of the color of the candle. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's almost completely mixed in. Got a little chunk left. So I'm going to keep stirring. Keep stirring that. Alright, I think that's got it. Now is when you add your wick. Now, like I said, you can either use candle wicking like that you would buy at like a hobby store, which mine that I showed earlier I got at Hobby Lobby. And you get, let's see, you get 75 yards for $15, which isn't that bad. I'm going to put my spoon in the sink, wipe off my stick here. Now, like I said, I'm going to attempt to use this wick that came out of this candle originally. So all you got to do is stick it down. Nope. Okay, that's not going to work, unfortunately, because I was an idiot and didn't fasten it down before I poured everything in. But that's okay. I've got some of my wick already cut and ready to go in here. I don't need near this much, so I'm going to trim that considerably. Oh, God. And another thing you'll need if you're using your own wicking is something heavy to help it sink to the bottom. I've just got a hardware, a nut attached. So all you're going to do, why is that separating? Okay. Sorry, guys. You're going to let that sink down where you want it. And you're going to wrap the wick that's up top around something to keep it from moving. And then you're going to take this and you're going to put it in your freezer. I mean, you can leave it out to harden on its own if you want. But with most of my crafting things, I am impatient. So I'm going to put it in my freezer for about half an hour. When it comes out of the freezer, it'll look like this. It'll be hardened and it'll be ready to go. So that's going to be it for this tutorial, you guys. It's something simple, something I enjoy. So yeah, that's going to be it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more, crafting, oh God, excuse me, camera. There we go. More crafting tutorials like this in the future, definitely let me know. I'm also going to be starting a game playthrough. I'm going to be doing some Minecraft stuff. So yeah, oh God. Be sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.